You lock eyes with a stranger across a crowded coffee shop. Before they even open their mouth to say hello, your brain has already decided if they are a friend or a foe. Princeton psychologists Janine Willis and Alexander Todorov proved this takes just 1/10 of a second. In exactly 100 milliseconds, you judge their competence, trustworthiness, and aggression. It happens faster than a physical blink. You might think you need a long conversation to truly know someone. But your conscious mind is just a passenger here. While you are still noticing their shirt color, your amygdala has already made its verdict. Why are we so incredibly hasty? This rapid-fire labeling isn't a social flaw, it is an ancient survival mechanism. Thousands of years ago, misjudging a stranger's intentions for even a second meant instant death. Here is the bizarre part. When researchers gave participants more time to look at the faces, their judgments rarely changed. They only became more confident in their initial, split-second assumptions. So, what is actually happening inside your skull during that crucial 1/10 of a second? To understand this superpower, we have to look deep inside the brain's ancient alarm system, the amygdala. You lock eyes with a stranger walking toward you. In just 1/10 of a second faster than a single eye blink, your brain has already decided if they are friend or foe. This lightning-fast trial isn't happening in your conscious mind. Deep inside your temporal lobe, a tiny, almond-shaped structure called the amygdala is running a silent, high-speed security check on their face. Researchers at Princeton University discovered that the amygdala doesn't need your permission. It instantly rates two key traits: how trustworthy the person looks, and how dominant their physical posture appears. In their famous 2006 study, scientists flashed faces on a screen for exactly 100 milliseconds. Believe it or not, participants made the exact same judgments as those given unlimited time to decide. But what happens if you get to stare at the person longer? You might think you'd correct your mistakes, but cognitive science reveals a much stranger truth about how we process information. Staring longer doesn't change your mind at all. Instead, your brain uses those extra seconds to actively search for clues that prove your initial, split-second guess was 100% correct. Psychologists call this rapid rationalization. Your brain hates being wrong, so it quickly invents a logical story to justify the subconscious bias your amygdala generated in a fraction of a heartbeat. Think about your last job interview or first date. Before you even shook hands and exchanged names, the other person's amygdala had already written the entire script of who you are. It feels unfair, but this isn't malice, it is biological programming. Your brain is running an ancient survival code designed to keep you alive in a world full of immediate physical threats. But why did our ancestors develop a system so incredibly hostile to newcomers? To find the answer, we have to travel back 200,000 years to a time when trust was lethal. Rewind 200,000 years to the African savanna. Your ancestors didn't live in cities, they lived in small, tight-knit nomadic bands. Survival depended on knowing exactly who belonged and who didn't. Imagine walking over a ridge and spotting a figure you've never seen before. You have exactly 1 second to decide: are they carrying food, or are they holding a stone spear? In evolutionary biology, this is called error management theory. If you mistake a friend for an enemy, you lose a potential ally. But what happens if you make the opposite mistake? If you mistake a deadly enemy for a friend, you die. Evolution ruthlessly eliminated the slow, trusting judges. Only the paranoid survived to pass their hypervigilant genes down to you. Psychologists call this the negativity bias. Your brain is hardwired to prioritize potential threats over potential rewards. We are descendants of the survivors who chose safety over curiosity every single time. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar famously calculated that human brain size limits our stable social groups to about 150 people. Beyond this magic number, our brains struggle to keep track of trust. In a world of 150 people, a stranger was a statistical anomaly. Seeing someone new meant danger, potential resource theft, or conflict. Your brain learned to flag different as dangerous instantly. That is why your brain doesn't wait for data. It uses facial symmetry and posture to make an instant threat assessment. Speed mattered infinitely more than accuracy when survival was on the line. Today, you pass more strangers on your morning subway ride than your ancestors met in their entire lifetimes. Yet, your ancient software is still running that same 200,000-year-old security program. But this ancient survival code has a massive bug. Once your brain makes that lightning-fast threat assessment, how does it trick you into ignoring real-world evidence? Let's look at the trap. Once that first 100-millisecond judgment is made, a psychological trapdoor slams shut. Psychologists call it the halo effect, a term coined by Edward Thorndike back in 1920. Your brain has officially chosen its narrative. If you perceive someone as friendly in that first glance, your brain automatically assumes they are also honest, smart, and generous. You literally paint a glowing halo over their head, ignoring their flaws. But what happens when that initial spark goes wrong? You enter the horns effect. If you start on the wrong foot, every mistake you make from then on is magnified by 10. Your brain behaves like a stubborn gatekeeper. Why? Because correcting a first impression requires mental energy. It is far easier to filter out reality than it is to admit you made a mistake. In a famous 2011 job interview study, researchers found that employers spend the remaining 20 minutes of an interview simply searching for evidence to confirm their initial 2-minute gut feeling. If a person you dislike donates to charity, your brain explains it away. You label it as a PR stunt. The brain bends facts to keep its internal story perfectly straight. Neuroscientists trace this to the prefrontal cortex, which works overtime to suppress conflicting information. It's an evolutionary shortcut designed to keep you moving forward without constantly re-evaluating your safety. Today, this cognitive bias runs rampant online. Swipe left on a dating profile or scroll past a video. You've categorized a human being forever based on one bad lighting choice. We pay a high price for this neurological laziness. Think of the potential friends you dismissed or the talented colleagues you ignored, all because your brain refused to update its files. Are you forever trapped by the snap decisions of your own biology? Or is there a way to break the script and force someone's brain to actually rewrite your story? Since you cannot stop this unconscious 100-millisecond filter, you must learn to hack it. You cannot block the brain's automatic threat assessment, but you can feed it better data from the start. Harvard research suggests prioritizing warmth over competence to disarm others. Stand tall, keep your hands visible, and offer a genuine 2-second smile to signal that you pose absolutely zero threat to their safety. But what happens if you make a terrible first impression anyway? A Cornell University study reveals it takes up to 8 positive interactions to clean up one single bad glance. The math is brutal. Knowing how flawed this ancient system is gives you a secret superpower. You can choose to override it. The next time your brain flags someone as suspicious, stop and question that immediate reaction. Is that new coworker actually difficult, or is your caveman brain just jumping to conclusions based on a lowbrow? Evolution designed you to fear the unknown, not to be fair. We pride ourselves on being rational, logical thinkers. Yet, our entire social reality is built on a split-second ancient lie. So, can you ever really trust your own gut instinct again? We like to think we're rational judges of character, but your conscious mind is really just a glorified PR representative rubber stamping a decision your caveman brain already made. The real danger isn't that you make these split-second assumptions, it's that you'll spend the rest of your relationship with that person trying to prove your amygdala was right. So, the next time you get an instant vibe about someone, ask yourself, are you actually reading their character, or are you just a hostage to a 100-millisecond reflex?